Welcome back to the JCPod, partner with Stare Down Sports. Stare Down greatness. And boy, what a weekend of football we had. We're still in that stretch of 49 days of football every single day. As tonight, Kennesaw State, Florida International, Western Kentucky, La Tech. Man, won't lie to you, just got a little bit sad. One of my futures looked like it was going to look great, and then we'll get into it a bit later, but that boy Mike Evans, man. Tough. Tough one for the Bucs on Monday night. Good one for Seattle, but we'll get to that in a minute. We got the whole NFL slate to go over from Week 7. NFL news to talk about, one of those being the Mike Evans injury. That is really sad, man. And then we got college football, a little bit to talk about that. We'll go over the AP Top 25, and before we get into college, one last thing I'll end on with the NFL is we're going to go over some odds. Just look at some MVP odds, one seed odds, just some of the big ones, just to be like, hey, so see, these are some of the guys who are at the head of the award race, according to the books. But like I said, let's hop into the week that was, and that starts off with Thursday Night Football. Bengals win 33-31, an absolute amazing shootout. That was an awesome game, honestly. That was a really fun game. I forgot that was a Thursday night game. That honestly set up what was a wild weekend of action. We'll start with the London game. Straight belt to ass, BTA. Rams win 35-7. They just looked really good. They went over the latest of anybody as well. I believe they left the day before. They basically, I think, when did they leave? They basically treated it as a West Coast trip. I don't think they, so I'm not sure if they left Saturday or Sunday. Not 100% sure on that one, I will say. But regardless, their strategy worked, so I think a lot of teams are going to start looking into this potentially as well, especially some of these West Coast teams. I am very sure that they'll probably do that. I mean, I think the Baltimore Ravens, the Rams, they were in Baltimore. That's why I said that by accident. But the Rams were practicing on a baseball field, I believe. I don't know if they used the Rams anything from the Rams. I don't believe they did, because the announcers mentioned first time stepping on an NFL field since whenever, so I believe that was all on a baseball field. But Devontae Adams, 3 touchdowns. Stafford threw 5 of them. Devontae had 3. Amazing game. The big sad thing for the Jags is they just didn't look good. Another thing, too, I mean, they left 9 points on the board early when that game was kind of close. It forced them to go for it every single time. But with how hot the Rams were, I don't think the Jags were going to win that game regardless, even if they went for the points. But the fact they didn't go for the points early, they were chasing points the whole game and ended up biting them in the ass multiple times. So not good there. And then Brian Thomas Jr., man, we're going to have to keep an eye on him. He might be out for a while. He hurt his shoulder at one point. I forget when it happened in the game, but he hurt his shoulder, and then very late into the game, like towards the very end of the game, he gets pressed by one of the DBs and basically just pop him in the pads, and then limp grabbing his shoulder, and that's not a good sign at all. My guess is, I don't want to give a guess, I won't lie to you, but as a guy with shoulder issues before, the way he was acting is like it's almost like popping out of place, because it was just like that little drag down. I mean, it was. The only reason I say that is because that's a similar reaction to what I did at times. I won't lie. Where it's just that immediately you go down and grab. So it's like I'm wondering if he's dealing with dislocation issues or if it's just like strain. I don't know. Shoulders are really weird with just what can happen. So, like I said, that's just something that we'll have to keep an eye on going forward. But he is for sure probably going to miss time. Travis Hunter got a lot of garbage stats. I think he had 0 fantasy points, which means he had no stats going into the second half. But he was able to get it all in the second half, which, hey, it's his first big game as a rookie. They're able to find stuff. Maybe this is his coming out party now. Maybe that's all he needed to unlock it. And like I said, with Brian Thomas, I mean, they're going to need a lot more of Travis Hunter. I'm trying to see if they came out with anything for Brian Thomas. I'm assuming they didn't. Yeah, I don't know if I'm hearing anything, so we'll just keep our eyes on the lookout, and I mean, we're gonna assume he's gonna be gone for. I don't know if they'll put him on IR and go that far, but apparently it's the same shoulder they dislocated in college. Okay, so if that's the case, I just saw this. Just saw this on X. Sorry, but apparently it's the same shoulder injury in college. Which, if that is the case, very, very good chance that, there could be some labrum issues, tears. I mean, it's because if he's done it before and it's starting to happen again, it's one of those things where it doesn't get better over time. It only gets worse. So That really sucks, man. Damn, I didn't realize it was gonna be that bad. Because I totally forgot he did in college. So yeah, that's not good. That is not good. Patriots win 31-13. At one point, it was 10-3, and it was looking like, man, are the Patriots about to get got in Tennessee? And then I think it was Kayshawn. Oh no, Austin Hooper. Austin Hooper made an amazing catch. It was an awesome catch at the corner of the end zone. Joey Slye kicked a field goal, and then Drake May had a bomb the Kayshawn booty, and that was basically game from there after that deep bomb. Drake May, he had stats, I forget. I think his completion percentage was an all-time Patriots record that even beat Tom Brady from 2007. And there's a lot of stuff coming out from Tom Brady 2007 and Drake May right now. So that goes to show you that guy's playing really good. And Vrabel's return revenge game against Tennessee, they beat their ass. It was just a bad game. Jeffrey Simmons left at one point for Tennessee, which really, really sucks. He's one of their few good defenders. And I just don't know what they're going to do in the passing game, man. I mean, Cam Moore's 25 for 34. That's crazy. DK 4 for 70. Pollard had 6. Van Jefferson had 4. Gunnar Helm had 4. I guess he passes around a lot. Tyler Lockett actually just asked for his release, and they did release him. So he's going to be signing to a veteran team, which I won't lie to you. I don't blame him. I'd get the hell out of there too at this point. But I don't like. Maybe it's just because I have Alec Almaner on fantasy, but he only has 2 for 29. Like DK went off. He had a really big catch to help that, but it just feels like every week I just watch Almaner have no points. I look. I mean, he had 255 passing yards, not too bad, but it just looks like Cam Ward's struggling in the pass game. I mean, 112, 175, 219, 108, 265, 222, 255. It's not horrible, but it's just, I don't know. Nothing just feels right with that team right now, which I guess isn't too shocking with all the dysfunction that's going on, but man, there's just not shit right with the Tennessee Titans. Saints, Bears. Bears win 26-14. There's really not too much to talk about it. I mean, the defense just absolutely dominated the Saints throughout the game. Kyle Monungai had a really good game on the ground. DeAndre Swift had a really good game on the ground. Spencer Rattler, not a horrible day. Not the worst of days. Not a great day. Not the best day. Olave had a pretty good day, but I mean, if the Saints are going to keep losing, you got to think at some point Tyler Shuck's just going to come in just so they can see what they got in him at this point. But man, it is getting really sad for the Saints. That was because I'll admit I don't get to watch all these games like play by play, but the Colts being kind of good now, it's awesome. They're playing at 4:00 a lot more. So like this was the first day where it's like I actually got to watch the Saints Bears, and because that was the local game. So yeah, that's the first time this season I watched, I think, every single play of the Saints game. My God. I told my bro, I texted Rowan, I'm like, is the offense like this every Sunday? Yikes, man. Kendra Miller tears his ACL, gone for the season. I mean, just sucks for that guy. He can't stay healthy. Not the best of day for the Saints. Like I said, if they keep losing, we are probably going to see Tyler Shuck at some point just to see what they got. And their season seems over, man. They at least got to win, so they aren't going to go winless, but yeah, I don't know how many more wins they are going to get at this point, especially if they keep looking that bad. Speaking of teams getting any more wins, 31-6. I mean, we knew the Browns were going to win, but my God, they beat the shit out of the Dolphins. Tua, probably one of the worst games of his career. 12 for 23, 100 yards, no touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Elements were just horrible. They just did not run the ball at all either, which isn't the thing. Which isn't a good thing. Excuse me. That team's just horrible, man. I don't know if they're built bad. I mean, I know they're built bad. They traded away all their. Not even trade. I mean, they did trade some of them, but they also just let go majority of their star players and all pros. So now they're just a gutted roster at this point. It is not looking up anytime soon in the near future. I mean, that was one of those games where it's like, you should just run Achane a good, like, I get that he's a smaller back, but run it, man. The weather was horrible, and when they ran him, it was not too bad at all, but I don't know. That team, like I said, that team is just not too good. Shout out to the Browns for getting a big win, and as for the Dolphins, I mean, it's just going to be a question of, when is Mike McDaniels fired? There's a chance he might go through the season. Sounds like Chris Greer is going to stay there for a while. He's still scouting and everything, and honestly, until Greer goes, I do not see this Dolphins team turning around anytime soon because I don't want to say incompetent, but boy, not too good. Speaking of incompetent, no, I don't want to say that's mean, but Justin Fields playing quarterback last Sunday. Wow. So let's sit there for a minute. 6 for 12 for 46 yards. Took 3 sacks. 46 yards. I mean, to be fair, they'd have no Garrett Wilson, so without Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields' stats are just completely horrible. You got to wonder how long he's going to keep playing. I mean, it's just crazy because, like, there's some games where you watch him and it's like he has moments where it's like, man, you truly do have some great talent. And then you continue to watch the game and there's just other times. Like, Jets-Panthers, watch this game specifically. Like I said, 6 for 12, 46 yards. You're just like, dude, you can't complete a forward pass. This is crazy. This is the Panthers defense that's been giving up a decent amount of points. I mean, you can score in this defense, and the Jets couldn't do anything. Panthers, Bryce Young is hurt. Shout out to them, though. Gritty win. 50-50 time split for Chuba Hubbard, Rico Dowdle. Curious to see how long that continues, if it does. I mean, they paid Chuba, but Rico has been proving to be the bit of a better guy. I mean, to be fair, Chuba's coming off injury. I don't think it's too shocking for him not to have the best of days, but yeah, Panthers are being a little bit flirty. Andy Dalton's going to be playing a lot more quarterback here soon, so yeah, that's going to be a team to keep an eye on just to see what I mean, I don't think they're going to do anything, like make playoffs per se, but it's going to be a fun team to watch. I mean, at least their games aren't horrible. You have some fun watching their games, but yeah, this is just a team that seems like they're showing improvement. That's what you can say, they're showing improvement, and Bryce Young looks a lot better now that he has a lot more weapons around him. So yeah, you're gonna be interested to see what they continue to do along with the season. But like I said, we'll go over it some more in the news. Bryce Young dealing with an ankle injury. He's probably gonna be out for next week for sure. I don't know what it's looking like for the next couple weeks though. Eagles-Vikings, this was actually a really enjoyable game from just like wild action, especially if you enjoy the Carson Wentz experience, because I think Carson Wentz did about everything you can do in a football game for a quarterback. Fumble the ball, horrible grounding, nice play on the ground running, snap go over his head, beautiful dime of a throw to somebody down the sideline, absolutely horrible pick into double coverage. I mean, 28-22, the Eagles find a way to win. Jalen Hurts threw for 328, had 3 touchdowns. I mean, nasty move they ran against Isaiah Rodgers towards the end of the game that absolutely... Shout out to Dan Orlovsky. He basically summed it up as it was one of those things where, like, they got Isaiah Rodgers to kind of, like, hey, this guy was here. It's like, hey, we're going to make you the hot route, but they faked it, basically. Did A.J. Brown, like, hey, hot route, but not really. So then they ran the sluggo, and, yeah, Rodgers was completely bit. Absolutely brilliant by the play calling, design, all of it. The one thing that is concerning for the Eagles, Saquon Barkley. 18 rushes, 44 yards. Not too good. Back-to-back weeks of not the best, but it's one of the things. I mean, they were throwing the ball over the yard, playing well. So, I mean, not going to look into it too deep. But if it continues to keep happening, we're going to have to. But I want to say there's a stat. Like, I could be wrong. Maybe it wasn't him. There's somebody that's, besides Ashton Genty, I mean, they get the hit the most in the backfield. I want to say the stat was about Saquon, but I can't fully remember, so I'm not going to say that for sure. But, yeah, it's not the same as last year for sure, but he still could have a decent year. We'll just have to see. Like, I'm not too worried about it just yet, but I'm going to start keeping my eye on it. Chiefs, 31, Raiders, 0. Yeah, Raiders are donezo. They played like 30 plays of offense, got absolutely taken off the field. Geno looked horrible. 10 for 16 for 67 yards. We talked about Justin Fields the way we did. Geno, he's been looking bad, dude. I know the offensive line is not the greatest either. Ashton Genty, the back that's hit the most in the backfield before he can even get a chance to run. It's 31-0. They were taking a knee with like 2:31 to go. That's how bad the game was. So, shout out to Rashee Rice coming back, 7 receptions. I think he had 40 yards, 2 touchdowns. He was immediately back into the offense. And I mean, with him back, that offense is they're going to cause issues, aren't they? We're going to look at the betting odds. I mean, it's everything just went whoop. And the Chiefs' favors after that game. Yeah, great game by the Chiefs. And as for the Raiders, man, it's just not their year. And Matt Crosby might be out for a while. We're going to have to see on that one. Giants, Broncos. Giants. I think they lost a game that I do have a stat for you on that I found. It is the Broncos completed a 19-point comeback versus the Giants after a Will Lutz game-winning field goal in the fourth quarter as time expired. Teams trailing by 18-plus points in the final 6 minutes of the fourth quarter. Final 6 minutes of the fourth quarter, mind you, are 2 and 3,677 since the 1970 merger. Denver has the most fourth quarter points after 3 scoreless quarters in NFL history now. And Bo Nix became the first quarterback in NFL history to have 2 passing touchdowns and 2 rushing touchdowns in the fourth quarter. I mean, the Giants just found a way to lose that game. That was absolutely insane. Won't even lie to you. Like, it was to a point where, like, I took Broncos money line early in the game. I'm just sitting back. I'm like, dude, they look horrible. Getting nothing going on offense. Just can't do anything. Finally able to score a little bit. And then the play that really got me in, and it was crazy, thinking about it now, looking back, especially reading my phone, because I was looking at the odds, like, while a lot of this was happening, especially because it was at the 4 o'clock time, which was nice. Won't lie, not cool they only had a few games, but it was nice for at least the betting aspect of it. I could kind of keep track with odds and everything. They were like, I forget what it was, like right before the pick, but as the pick is happening, I sprinkled the money line again. It was like plus 375. The Broncos score a touchdown. They're still like plus 300 to win the game. So at this point, it's still like, damn, I didn't realize it was that far. I don't know if they'll be able to do it. Back and forth, back and forth. They end up giving the Broncos like 30-something seconds left after the Giants scored, and it looked like they were going to win. Broncos go right down the field, kick a field goal to win it, like we said, and that was a game this week that was just like, wow. Those last like 6 minutes were just insane. It was just, you couldn't take your eyes off it. Like I was just glued. I was wanting to make dinner. I had dinner slowly starting to get prepped that I was going to make, and it was literally one of those things where it's like, all right, I just got to stop this because this game is starting to get to that point. Because I thought it was kind of over, so I started leaning towards, all right, we'll start getting some dinner ready, doing that. And like I said, it was like, I got to stop this. This game's getting too good. So shout out to the Broncos. They were able to come back. Jackson Dart had that horrible interception. That's just one of those rookie things where it's like, you're going to learn from it, but as a rookie, you think you can make every play. So he tries to make a play as he's getting sacked, throws it right to the defender. If he took the sack, probably better for the time. They don't have a chance to win it, the Broncos being the team to win it. But, yeah, overall, it was a very, very fun game. Ended up being an awesome game. Like I said, for first bit, it was just absolutely boring because the Broncos basically just did nothing on offense, and the Giants were just okay. And then out of nowhere, like I said, that fourth quarter just started going back and forth and everything. Speaking of another game that's awesome, man, them Colts, baby. The Colts are legit. And it's one of those things where it's like, it's like, I won't lie to you, it's one of those things with my luck. I'm sure there's so many other people who feel the exact way, but it's one of those things with my luck where it's like, the second it's like, fine, I'll stop. Like, we'll do you have a bet, for example, like, it will go perfect. We'll talk about this game later, but Mike Evans to get 1,000 receiving yards. I've really never bet it. Stayed away. This year it's fine. I'm like, all right, hey, we'll throw it on. Why not? Let's put it up there. He's done every year. And then this happens. Like, of course, the 1 year I took it, that really sucks. It sucks. Obviously, it's whatever compared to his injury because that really sucks. But like I said, so it's one of those situations where it's like, of course. So, of course, like I said, for this, being the Colts, it's like what? I think since it's been like 3 years where it's like, hey, this seems like right there they're going to be good. And like I was coming out early being like, hey, the Colts are going to be good this year, and then fall on their face. This was the year where it's like, hey, we're going to take a step back. We said it at the beginning of the year. I said, I'm like, hey, the Colts can, I'm not going to lie to you. I might have to find that clip and make it a short now. No, but in all seriousness, it was one of those things where it's like, you look at their schedule. They can win 10 or 11 games. It just comes down to like the quarterback play. This was the 1 year where I'm like, you know what? We're not going to jump in on them as we usually do. We're going to watch and sit back, and we're going to see what the quarterback situation ends up being. Ends up being great. And like I said, I'm happy to be wrong about, like, I guess not wrong, but one of those things where it's like, I was happy to finally take a step back and be like, all right, let's see how it goes. Because I tell you what, week 1, it was like, wow, okay, so they might be pretty good. And then you get the games like the Chargers where Jonathan Taylor, put him in the MVP conversation. We're going to talk about that here shortly. But like I said, that boy, Jonathan Taylor, man. 16 carries, 94 yards, keeping up with his average for his career. 3 touchdowns. Daniel Jones had 280 yards passing, 2 touchdowns. Tyler Warren, 4 for 69. Shout out Rondé Gatson. 7 for 164 and 1 touchdown. It's pretty good. Justin Herbert threw for 420 yards. I won't lie to you, that whole second half for the Colts game, because Colts jumped on them early. They were up. I mean, the first drive, it was right down the field, and Colts ended up going up. I think it was 23-3 going into half. And then, like I said, the Chargers started making a little bit of a comeback, and it started getting to that point where it's like, oh, damn, are they actually going to make a comeback? And this is the part that's awesome about this Colts team this year, which I haven't seen in a while, man, is they actually answer and have, like, kind of a spine and answer back, which it used to be before, like, if the other team scored, it's like, ah, shit, this offense might just go 3-and-out right here and give the other team all the momentum. So you're sitting there and you're like, let's see how they do. And this year it's been one of those things where it's like, this was a game, too, where I'm like, Colts are actually going to score and we might be okay. Guess what? They go down the field and score. It's just, their offense is hyper efficient. It's to a point where I forget the exact stat, but they're better than the 2007 Patriots at this point. And, obviously there's still a lot of season to go. That could change. But as of right now, it's just like, they have to answer to everything. Tyler Warren gets wide open. The run game looks really good. They can stop the run. Once they get all their DBs healthy, they're able to play against the pass. Their defense can get enough stops to win you saw it. Chargers didn't put a 24 on them, but Colts scored 38, and during that first half, 20-3. Colts defense locked them down enough to get the job done. Shout out to Grover Stewart, first career NFL reception for him. Interception, not reception, excuse me. First career interception for him in that game. It's amazing, man. And like I said, we'll talk about the odds in a little bit. Jonathan Taylor, as of right now, should be the MVP in my eyes. Obviously I'm a Colts fan, but overall too, he's the engine that makes this machine work. Daniel Jones is the operator, but Jonathan Taylor is the cog that makes it, or not even the cog, the engine that makes it run. The offensive line, so good. Wide receivers, they have enough weapons to get it done. They were missing Josh Downs and Ashton Doolin, which at this point are the number 2 and number 3 wide receivers. So, like I said, Justin Herbert had an amazing day, taking nothing away from the Chargers. Chargers had a really good game. They just got jumped on so early that there's not really much you can do about it. Man, we're going to talk about that when we get to news. The owner kind of said something about Justin Fields. But to finish the Colts off, like I said, I'm not going to take too much away from the Chargers uniforms. I thought the uniforms were okay. They're not the best in the world. I didn't think they were the worst in the world, but everyone's coming out and burying them. But to be fair, this Van of Bananas things kind of does make it. I'm a guy who loves the color rush. I don't mind the all color anything. Yellow, not my favorite, like I said, but I didn't mind it as bad as some other people did. I thought it was okay. But like I said, the Colts, man, we're going to talk about some of their betting odds as well because they're up there. I can't even put it into words, man. It's just awesome to watch this team play good. It's like, man, especially because, like I said, if you've been following along with the show for these, I didn't change that. That's so stupid. Knew I forgot something. If you have not been watching along for these 290 episodes, it's been a lot of times from like, hey, the Colts are right there. The roster's right there. It's just the quarterback's been... And finally, Daniel Jones. Crazy to think he's like this efficient in the offense, but it just looks awesome. Rest there, we'll just take a quick peek. Chargers are going to be fine, I think, moving forward. The only thing I would say that was tough for the Chargers, giving up that many points, was kind of like, oh, man, that's not usually what you think of when you see a hardball team. Colts are favored by 14.5 this week, so like they're finally starting to get respect from the books even, too. But you got Titans, Steelers next week, Titans this upcoming week, Steelers the following week. They're on they go to Berlin. They're going to somewhere, I think, in Germany to play the Falcons. They have a Week 11 bye. Then it's Chiefs, Texans, Jaguars, Seahawks, 49ers, Jaguars, Texans. So the second half of the schedule does get tough, but in my eyes, this is how I think it goes. They're at the Chiefs. That's a 1 o'clock game. That's going to become a 4 o'clock game, let's be real. But there's a chance I think they're going to probably beat the Titans. Good chance they can beat the Steelers. We'll see, though. It's on the road, so I'm going to say they're going to beat the Falcons because the Falcons don't win on the road. Chiefs, like I said, that could be a tough one. I could see them losing. If the Texans keep playing the way the Texans are, Colts can definitely split that one. The biggest one is going to be December 7th in Jacksonville. Then get over the hump and win in Jacksonville. They just need to beat the Texans once and beat the Jags once, and I think the division is basically theirs. Based on tiebreakers. Could be wrong about that, but I believe based on what the Jaguars, I guess, with how good their record is, they could have a chance to steal it. But Colts have 2 wins on them right now. If they can, Colts might have a chance to lock up. I mean, that's huge for them week 11. I'm not going to jump ahead. There's a lot of weeks left. And, man, I'm not going to lie to you. The fact that I kind of read that schedule, it's like, man, the end of the season's already almost here. That's kind of sad. But I will say, it kind of works out for this year, like I said, because the Texans, I mean, I know that, the NFL, I feel bad for NFL schedule makers sometimes because they predict these games and injuries and stuff like that happen, or in the Texans' case, their offensive line is just putrid. So now they are 2-4, but when they scheduled out the schedule, like, all right, Colts and Texans are probably going to be the 2 teams that might do something, so we're going to set them up to play in Week 18. Now there's a chance the Week 17 game against Jacksonville. I mean, shout out to the makers for that. That game, not the schedule makers, excuse me. That game, December 28th, Week 17 in Jacksonville, that could very well be for the division. But like I said, we're looking ahead a lot. Shout out to the Colts for a massive win. They improved to 6-1. Your official number 1 seed in the AFC. Packers-Cardinals, I'm going to lie to you. Packers win this game. Cardinals probably should have won this game. Story of the Cardinals season. Cardinals probably should have won that game. They lost. All their games have basically been 1-score games, so they're 2-5. It's crazy. This team could realistically be 7-0 if they just were able to complete some games or didn't have 1 or 2 plays go the other way, like the Amari DiMercado play. But Packers just looked horrible for a bit, and then they finally started to give Josh Jacobs the ball more, and they looked a lot better. But Trey McBride had a great game. Tucker Kraft had an amazing game. Overall, though, not the best of games. Not going to lie. Not the best of game. I mean, it wasn't I guess I'm lying. It was kind of a fun game, but of all the games of the day, I won't lie to you. Personally, to me, this was kind of one that was like, man, that was okay, I guess. Well, like I said, it was still a close game. I guess towards the end it got a lot better, but I don't know. I don't know how to describe this game. The Cardinals were up like 13-6 at first. Then it was 7-7. Then the third quarter scoring wise, and then the Packers outscored them 14-3 in the fourth quarter. It was just a weird game. I guess that's a better way to put it. It was just a weird game. But the Packers find a way to win yet again. It's just Micah Parsons had 3 sacks. So that was a great game for him as well. But it was just one of those games where it's just, Packers are weird right now, man. I don't know how to fully evaluate them. They're good, but it's like, I don't know if they're as good as I thought they were. Now that leaves us with the Monday night games. Won't lie to you. We'll talk about this one. I didn't get to see the second one yet. I still need to watch it back. Probably going to do that today while I'm doing some other stuff. But for the first game I did watch, Lions win 24-9. The Lions defense, I want to give a round of applause to them. They balled out in that game. I mean, they looked really good. Really, really good. It was a really great showing by them, honestly. They looked, for all the injuries too, like their whole secondary is injured. I gave it out in my article. I literally, won't lie to you, kind of sucks. Wasn't even going to bet on the Bucs at all in that game. And then I learned again that all their DBs were out basically. So it's like, okay, the way Baker Mayfield's been playing, they should be good. We'll take it. Mike Evans is back and everything, which, tough for Mike Evans, man. First has a hamstring injury, finally comes back, then concussion and broken collarbone out for season. Like, that just sucks, dude. That really sucks, man, just for Mike Evans. Like I said, he was having that chance for continue. I think this year he would have broke the 1,000-yard career streak. Either would have broke it, or I think he would have broke it, yeah. And then, now that's done for them. Lions and Tampa Bay now are both 5-2. But Lions, I don't want to take anything away from the Lions. They just looked awesome. They completely dominated the Bucs. I mean, Baker Mayfield was in duress all day. Jahmyr Gibbs had 218 yards from scrimmage, 136 rushing. The other part of that 218 receiving. Jared Goff threw an interception, had 1 touchdown, threw for 241, but looked in command of the offense again. I mean, the run game just set him up for everything. Jahmyr Gibbs was the engine that made the game work for them. And overall, great win for the Lions. As for the Bucs, not going to take away too much from them as of right now just yet, but they just got dominated that game. So it's going to be nice to see how they respond next time they play. Baltimore and Buffalo were on bye. And like I said, for the Texans and Seahawks game, Seahawks win 27-19. Didn't get a chance to watch this game really because, 10 a.m. start, got over 1:30 a.m., which would have not worked out with my schedule. So we're going to watch it back here soon and just use it for the information going into next week. But yeah, news-wise, let's check some NFL news. Woody Johnson called out basically Justin Fields a little bit, which, yeah, not the best look for him, I'll say. I see what you see, Johnson said before a 2-day meeting amongst NFL owners in New York, but I see more than you do. You can't win with hope, but it helps. I said, I do believe in Aaron. If I were a player, I would respond to him because he's the real deal. He's no BS. I hug him every day. And then he basically goes on, says that stuff, and then where's this actual quote at? Oh, there we go. And he says, it looks like Glenn is turning around parts of it. Johnson, it's hard when you have a quarterback with the rating that we've got. He has the ability, but if you look at any head coach with any quarterback like that, you got to see similar results. And then basically, and then I thought he said somewhere that he basically just said, oh, here it is. Sorry, it took forever to find in this article. Defense, special teams are doing better. Defense is pretty good. If we just complete a pass, it would look good. We got to complete some passes. You got to convince them that you can do something, which I get what he's saying. I mean, it makes sense. He's not coming out and like, that's just not a good look for the Jets, which let's be honest. They just are not the best right now. It has not gone great for them. Mike Evans, broken clavicle, concussion, done for season. I mean, you just, the way you saw him, like, man, he is knocked out. Like, when he landed on the ground, like, man, he's knocked out. And then he was just laying there like he did. I'm like, oh, no, it got to be something else, too, because he just didn't look right. And I thought it was, like, legs or something with his leg, maybe, and then, yeah, you hear that. It's like, man, that really sucks. Shout out to Jason. He had an awesome game. I didn't get a chance to talk about him too much since I didn't get to watch the game, but Jason looked awesome from at least the highlights I saw. And then you read the stats, like, yeah, it looks like he had an amazing game. Jaden Daniels is uncertain to play against the Chiefs, which really sucks. I wonder if he will because of his injury and how close the game is. Brandon Graham's coming out of retirement to help the Eagles. Kind of funny, but I love it. But great that the veteran back. Greenlaw was suspended for 1 game after the issue with the ref. Mike McDaniel, the Dolphins aren't doing any QB or head coaching change to Mike McDaniel, and 2 are safe right now. Aaron Glenn is undecided on his starter, which is kind of concerning for Justin Fields. Makes sense. Bryce Young expected to miss at least 1 game with the ankle sprain. We'll see what comes after that. Let's see. Is there anything else? I think that's most of the massive news. I think there's some other guys with some small injuries we'll bring up tomorrow if it's still on the injury report and they still come up with stuff. It's just the first day of the week, so it's hard to be like, oh, this guy's out with an ankle, and it's like, it could just be him resting. But yeah, that's gonna do it. Let's talk about some college, go over some of the scores from the week. Oh no, we're gonna go over, the NFL stuff real quick before we finish college. We'll probably spend like 3 to 5 minutes on this. Like, I legit just want to go over some of the odds of the big stuff and just kind of be like, all right, here's our kind of view of the season as it is so far. Like, these are the guys that, for example, for Super Bowl, you got Chiefs at plus 500, Lions plus 700, Bills 750, Packers plus 800, Eagles plus 1,000. Colts are now plus 1,200, which is kind of nice. Their odds went up. I wonder if it's because of the Texans losing. Colts are actually your favorite in the clubhouse to make the playoffs at minus 2,200, which is crazy, but the only reason that is because obviously the Patriots and the Bills are butting heads. If that wasn't the case, Bills would be above them. Either way, though, awesome for the Colts, like I said. You look at divisions, Bills are favorite in division, minus 185. New England's minus plus 150. Baltimore's plus 135 in their division. Steelers are plus 130. I might re-jump in on the Steelers again because it just feels like Baltimore's a bit too far out. Bengals are plus 470 if they can find a way to crawl out. Colts for the AFC South are minus 280. Jaguars plus 290. Texans are plus 1,400. That's just crazy to think about coming into this season. If you would have told me in the preseason that the Texans are plus 1,400, I don't think I would have believed it. Chiefs minus 125. Denver Broncos plus 220. Chargers plus 370. Eagles minus 270. Commanders plus 550. Dallas Cowboys plus 550. Packers plus 105. Lions plus 115, Bears are 12-1. Oh, that's a quick drop-off. Shit. I thought they'd be a little bit better, honestly. Tampa Bay minus... they got killed by the Lions. That is true. Tampa Bay minus 280. Falcons plus 400. Rams are plus 130. 49ers plus 175. Seahawks are plus 270. So as you can see, some of these divisions are tight races. Some of the other ones... Some teams have kind of made it known they're starting to pull away. To be the number 1 seed, they have the Colts at plus 195, Bills plus 300, Chiefs plus 380. Then the Patriots next to 9-1. That's like I said. If you would have told me the Colts would have had in week 8 would have had a chance to be their odds to be number 1 seed or plus 195. I don't know if I would have believed plus 195. I won't lie to you. I wanted to be the blind Colts fan and be like, duh, but I won't lie to you. This has just been 6-1 is crazy. I thought at least like probably 4 or 5 wins by now, but 6 is probably 4, honestly. I thought 4 wins, and 6 is way better. For number 1 seed in the NFC, Packers plus 330, excuse me. Lions are plus 350, Rams 500, Eagles are plus 500, and the 49ers plus 750, so very top heavy in the AFC, and then the NFC it's a bit more wide open. And the last thing we'll talk about are some the Jets, the next game the Jets are favored to win are the Browns, plus 165. That's their next best chance to get a win on the board. Past that, if you look at their schedule, it says their first win, Bengals are plus 240, Browns are plus 165, and then Patriots 8-1, 17-1, 9-1 down their schedule. If anything, I might take the Dolphins game at 10-1, but they'd have to lose 5 or 6 more games in a row, so that's you might see that tomorrow. But no, for awards, you got Patrick Mahomes for MVP now. He's the favorite at plus 125. Like, yeah, that just shot straight up. Josh Allen is plus 350. Drake May plus 700. Baker plus 900. Matt Stafford plus 1,200. Jared Goff 1,800. Dak Prescott plus 2,200. With Daniel Jones at plus 2,200. It makes me mad that I have to go Jordan Love, Lamar Jackson, Sam Darnold, Jalen Hurts, Justin Herbert, to then get Jonathan Taylor at 50-1 odds. His odds should be definitely a lot higher. I understand it's more of a quarterback award, but if any year they're going to give it to a running back, it's this year, right? So, especially with the way Jonathan Taylor's looking, I mean, he is. I think we can look that up for sure. So we can look up he leads the league in rushing with 697 yards. Leads the league in rushing touchdowns with 10. I think he leads the league in touchdowns overall with like 11 or 12 potentially. So, I guess he. Yeah. It's that just bothers me a bit. But if you look offensive play of the year, Jonathan Taylor minus 140, JSN plus 430, Christian McCaffrey plus 650. Defensive play of the year, Micah Parsons is the leader there, then followed by Aiden Hutchinson at plus 380. Micah Parsons plus 165. Nick Benito's plus 550. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Jackson Darts plus 100. Emeka Ibuka's plus 175. Tyler Warren is plus 650. Quinshon Judkins is 13-1. And that's about where I think it's going to end. I already got a ticket on Tyler Warren. If anybody, I bet Emeka Ibuka. Shout out to Gronk. I about said Ebegbu. I think that's one of them. Oh, dude, that's so funny. Emeka Egbegbu. I mean, I'm just so off. I mean, hey, names are tough, though. Shout out to Gronk. And then Defensive Rookie of the Year, Jahad Campbell, Abdul Carter, Carson Schweisinger. I mean, I don't know what's going to happen in that field, honestly. And then you got AP Coach of the Year, Shane Steichen plus 125, Mike Vrabel plus 300, and Kyle Shanahan plus 700. We have Vrabel. Dak Prescott minus 105 for Comeback Player of the Year. McCaffrey plus 185. Aiden Hutchinson plus 550. Daniel Jones plus 650. Now let's go over some college. Now that we got some of the props out of the way, some of the other stuff, all that fun jazz. College, it was another wild weekend. Losing on Friday night to Louisville. Shout out to Louisville, man. Them boys balling out on a Friday. Yeah, we had action from Tuesday to Saturday. That was a shocker, though. Louisville wins 24-21 over Miami. We'll start from Tuesday. New Mexico State, 27, Liberty 30. Arkansas State beats South Alabama. FIU beats Western Kentucky, 25-6. Delaware loses 25-38 to Jacksonville State. Sam Houston still looking for that first win of the season. They lose 35-17 to UTEP. Tulsa loses 27-41 East Carolina. Like we said, the Louisville score. Minnesota wins 24-6 against Nebraska. That was kind of a bit of a shocker to me, honestly. I did not see it going that way. Utah State, San Jose State. Utah State wins 30-25. Utah State now 1 win away from that over for us because, West Virginia ain't hitting. So, Hopefully Utah State can for us. Cal, they beat North Carolina. That was an insane ending with a fumble on the goal line to put chance to go up. North Carolina does. They get the ball punched out. Insane. Purdue gets shut out by Northwestern 19-0. Purdue sucks on the road. I don't know why I took that horrible team. Notre Dame, they went 34-24. Shout out to Jeremiah Love back in the Heisman conversation after he ran all over the field on them boys. Notre Dame in general, I got to see the rushing yards. They ran all over them boys. 306 in total. I think that counts some of the sack yardage, but Jeremiah Love, 24 carries for 228. And then Jadrian Price, he had a kick return as well. He also had 13 for 87 on the ground. They ran all over them boys. UConn beats Boston College. TCU wins 42-36 over Baylor. Georgia Tech wins 27-18 over Duke. That was a tough game for Duke. They drove down the field twice in a row. One was a fumble that went the other way for a touchdown. The other one was a missed kick. And after that, you're kind of like, yep, that's probably going to be the day for Duke. It was. Tulane, Army. Tulane wins 24-17. They escape with a win against Army. Miami of Ohio beats Eastern Michigan. Michigan beats Washington 24-7. I guess the score is a little bit misleading. I didn't get a chance to watch the game, so I didn't know for sure. Vanderbilt, they won 31-24 against LSU. Shout out to them. Massive win for their program. Nobody stormed the field either. That's what I thought was kind of shocking. Nobody stormed the field when they beat LSU. So that just goes to show you how much faith they have in their program now. Houston wins 31-28 over Arizona. Oklahoma, man, they won 26-7 over South Carolina. West Virginia gives up 40 again, gets absolutely blown out again. Man, we're getting out there over next year. We'll see you next year, boys. Troy wins 37-14 in their game. Ohio beats Northern Illinois. Ohio State shuts out Wisconsin 34-0. Ole Miss beats Georgia beats Ole Miss 43-35. UNLV shocking loss 56-31 to Boise State. They got destroyed. James Madison wins 63-27 against Old Dominion. North Texas wins 55-17 over UTSA. Clemson, they fall down to 35-24 to SMU. Man, Clemson and Florida State, man. Florida State, when we get to them in a minute, boy. Indiana went 38-13 over Michigan State. Man, UAB beats Memphis. That would have been awesome. There's a chance College Game Day might have gone to that small school rivalry because that could have been Memphis, then South Florida. Next week could have been a playoff game. Now it's just hey, Memphis can maybe ruin South Florida season, keep them out of the playoffs for sure. Arizona State beats Texas Tech. Florida wins against Mississippi State as they fire their head coach. Billy Napier is gone. Texas A&M, they win 45-42 over Arkansas. Shocking their defense gave up that many points. Oregon, they win 56-10 against Rutgers. Virginia escapes with a win against Washington State. UCLA, they come back to beat Maryland, and for the third week in a row, Maryland does not cash out that future for us because they blow it in the fourth quarter with under a minute to go. Heartbreaking. Iowa escapes with a 1-point win over Penn State. Hawaii covers against Colorado State. Colorado State fired their coach. Alabama beats Tennessee. There's an awesome view of the pick six that was just beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Cincinnati beats Oklahoma State. Utah loses the Holy War. BYU wins 24-21. They just keep winning and keep winning. And then the saddest game of the day, Stanford, Florida State. That is a sad, sad loss from Florida State. They have fallen a lot since they had that first win at the beginning of the year against Alabama. It's kind of sad, man. They've just been bad. It's not always, every game's not been bad. There's just some games they look horrible. The offense looked horrible in this game. The week before, the defense looked horrible. There's a good chance Mike Norvell's. If he's not gone during the season, Mike Norvell is probably gone at the end of the season. They need a fresh reset. They need to bring that program back to prominence, man. It's been a fat minute. When I was looking at the AP Top 25, Ohio State's 1. Indiana is 2. New record for them, highest they've ever. Indiana's 2, man. Who would have thought? Yeah, boy. No, I'm just kidding. We did. I will say we were some of the earlier ones on the Indiana train last year. Just because, shout out Kurt Signetti. Been riding with that boy for a minute. He made me a lot of money at James Madison. So once he came to IU, it's like, oh yeah, that's gonna work out. So shout out to IU, man. They're at number 2. Texas A&M 3. Bama 4. Georgia 5. Oregon 6. Georgia Tech 7. Ole Miss 8. Florida only falls to 9. Vanderbilt 10. BYU 11. Notre Dame 12. Oklahoma 13. I might have to check. Hold on. We'll check to see if this is correct for sure. But Oklahoma 13, Texas Tech 14, Missouri 15, Virginia, Tennessee, South Florida, Louisville, LSU, Cincinnati, Texas, Illinois, Arizona State, and Michigan round up the top 25. I believe USC is the first team out. I need to double check. I believe that. I want to say that the top 25 was. I thought Notre Dame was higher. But I guess they weren't. They were only at 12. I thought that I saw. Maybe it was a mock one where they had 5. I thought somebody had them at 5. And I was like, well, damn, okay. But, yeah. Not bad at all. AP poll, though, it's so early in the season that it's going to change a lot by the end of the season. But that's kind of what it's looking like. We're going to start getting our play. It's almost the end of October, so we're going to start getting our playoff stuff here soon. That should be really exciting. Man, football is. We're basically over. We're starting. I mean, the roller coaster is already starting to tip down. We're starting to come. We've already reached the apex. We're starting to come down at the end of the regular season for some of these. I mean, college football is. We're going into week 9. They only have 14 weeks. That's almost over, and then as we get rounded off in the bowls and the playoffs, then boom, NFL's right there. I mean, it's crazy, man. This season's flying by too damn quick, but it's been a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun, but thank you all for watching. Thank you for the support. We really do appreciate it. We'll probably check in on the betting record tomorrow for our Pickem Thursdays on a Wednesday, and then we're also here soon. Probably go over some of the futures and check in on some of those, see how some of those are going. Some heartbreaking losses already, but we still have some great ones on the way. And man, I'm excited for tomorrow and Pickem. Kind of heartbreaking week for your boy. We dropped into 3rd place. We dropped back like 8 to 10 points, so it's not the best. We're still in 3rd. I mean, the nice part is we dropped back from 2 people that we really couldn't afford to, but gained on a lot of other people. So it's like we're starting to separate from some. We're doing this part not too bad now, but now we gotta gain a little bit more. Picking those damn Falcons got me. But thank you all for watching. Thank you for the support. I will see everyone back in this feed tomorrow.